Okay guys, let's go. We have got a few more guests joining us in a few minutes, so I've just got you. Thanks Christine, okay then. I guess we'll join us in a few minutes guys. We're going to go into the stadium ourselves straight away anyway now, but just a few things to point out before we go into the stadium. These walkways you can see here, based in the San Siro Stadium in Milan. We've got 8 of these walkways in the stadium. These large names are all the global sister support associations all over the world. And these small names here are the 36,000 plus season card holders. I'm a season card holder. I still can't find my name on that list. It's not in alphabetical order. A lady called my tour the week before last, which is a true story. She found a name on the first level. I was going to the door. I was extremely jealous. I still can't find mine. Okay, we're now going to go into a real point. Okay guys, so welcome to the west end of the stadium. That's the main entrance to the stadium. On match days the players will arrive, will come to the CFA and they'll come 90 minutes, they come 90 minutes before kick-off, just a third of a mile by coach, and they'll arrive here to a fanfare welcome by the City fans. They'll be announced off one at a time by a DJ. Pep will arrive first of course to the coach and the players will come in and they will walk on to this fanfare welcome. Fans cheering, flags waving, music playing, just an amazing experience. And they will walk on a blue carpet experience. We don't have any red carpet in this stadium. The other bit that's red in here is a fire extinguisher, the tomato ketchup, and you'll still see a few COVID signs around the stadium as well, so that's the other bit that's red in here. They keep it all completely blue. And the actual city players walk into this area and they'll be met by these Tunnel Club ground guests. Now this is like your back pass to World Football here. The Tunnel Club ground guests have a small tapa-style food, 10 choices, fine wines and beers as well to drink. But they can actually welcome their heroes as they arrive and go down to their home team dressing. It's an amazing experience. And this copper line runs all the way through the actual floor, runs all the way to the centre circle, so it's built into their experience as well. And we also have a Tunnel Club Premier experience downstairs, but they have a 5-star dining experience downstairs. But they join these guests when the players arrive, and they make their way back to their own seats later. So it's just an amazing experience all around. And this actual stand at the West End is named after a famous City player, Colin Bell, of the 60s and 70s. He was a bit like a Kevin De Bruyne of today, really, just an amazing player. He was nicknamed the Jinski by the City fans in those days because he was after the famous racehorse at the time, and it was voted in a players' poll, in a fans' poll, to actually vote Colin to be actually named in the stadium. Who knows, we could have a Sergio Aguero stand in the future. Sadly, Colin passed away last year, but his name will live on forever now in the stadium. Now that I mentioned about the fanfare welcome for the City players, what about our opponents? When Liverpool come here recently, do you think they come to the same door as City? Absolutely not. When their coach arrive, you see that green hedge there? It's a service tunnel. So they send their coach down a service tunnel. The players get off, they walk past the kitchens and dustbins. We make them walk all the way around the stadium to get to their away team dressing room. It'd be quicker to walk through this door, but no, we don't make it quicker for our opponents. You'll see a lot of pre-match psychology through the tour to get the City players prepared and our opponents unprepared. That's what it's all about. And even the actual matchday officials don't come to this empty. They take the same tunnel as the away team. So your referee and linesmen go to the same service tunnel as the away team. It's just laid out for the City players only. Now we've got a few children here today. Now I want to just recreate the atmosphere. Could the children just join me at the end here, please? Just come along here, please. Let's recreate the atmosphere. All players arrive on match days. Here we go, look at this here. Able to build big volunteers. It's much as your favourite City player. Kevin De Bruyne is about you welcome there, Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne. Sergio Aguero, come back. Gail Cole's around. Raheem Sterling. You see that when you arrive, you get the fanfare welcome for the fans. Just an amazing experience. Just great to be sitting in and see them arrive. Any questions, guys? Are you ready to go to the opponent's dressing room? Now I'm going to be extremely good today. Make sure you check me when I go through it. I sometimes call this the loser's dressing room. I'll be extremely good today. I'll call it the opponent's dressing room. Okay guys, follow me now. I'm going to take that into the away team dressing room. Okay then? Here we go. Have a good time. And your Cooper will do something no other City player will ever do in history. He scored the very first goal, Premiership goal in the stadium, even before the City played, in a 1-1 draw. So we beat Barcelona 2-1 in a friendly, then we drew 1-0 with Portsmouth in the first friendly game. So obviously things have come a long way since those days, but like I say, that's what happened in the first game here. And lots of great superstars. I think you've got Jamie Vardy, who come from non-league football to become a Premier League winner. You've got Mbappe, as you know, obviously Mbappe plays for Paris Saint-Germain. You've also got Lionel Messi showing it in Barcelona colours originally, but more recently you come with Mbappe with Paris Saint-Germain as well. Lots of great players. Even Wayne Rooney arrived there as an Everton player before he was even a United player. And Carlos Tevez, who you know played for City and United, first played here when he was a West Ham player. So that's why you've got the particular colours when they first played here. And these are replica shirts, not the original shirts of the players. People like that, but they are replica shirts. So please feel free to take up my photos. You can take a seat here, you can sit wherever you like. And I'll give you a few facts in a minute about the actual away team dressing room, okay? Okay, guys. So then, what is your first impressions about the away team dressing room? What do you think?
Clean.
Clean? I'll take a look. I like that. Clean, okay then. Very nice, very nice. Quite, I mean, also it's quite basic though. I mean, also they're quite basic. You also there's no doors on the actual changing room areas for the players. There's no cushion on seats. You know, so it's just quite basic. And also you'll notice it is a grey colour. It's a great welcome, everybody. Please come in.
I'm going to go and get the lift.
Okay, Christine. Welcome. Please come in. Thank you. But the grey colour is known to be a calming effect. But guess what? We don't want our opponents to be all hyped up and excited. We want them to be calm, so we can beat them. I'll tell you about the pre-match psychology. You'll see that right through the tour, getting these opponents unprepared and the City players prepared. So that's what we do. Give our opponents on match days. When they arrive on match days here, we supply showers for the actual players to use, mirrors. Most importantly, hair dryers, because the players like to look nice. Even running water, no expense spared, as you can see. And we also supply PowerPoints for their phones and their iPads. We also supply a TV for the manager to use with his coaches. He discuss tactics of the place. He'll put his laptop in there and discuss it, a bit like what City do as well, because there's a lot of technology involved with the game today. It's not just about a talk with the manager now, it's all about what the analysts do to support the manager to help win the game as well. So he'll discuss his tactics with his players. And at the moment you see it's reflecting these superstars that have changed in the dressing room in the past. And obviously, you know, there's a lot of talk about Mr. Haaland. It could be possibly coming to City. We'll see what the media say through the summer. Like I say, but two of the points in here I want to point out to you that you'll see in the home team dressing room. One, you'll see this atomic clock with a touch of atomic clock in Greenwich. It's accurate to the nearest second. And you'll also see this little yellow buzzer light feature. What did they that before? Any ideas what you think it could be for? To start the match, I'm trying to say. It's controlled by the referee. Okay. Get ready yet? Thank you, Steve. Here's Christine.
Thank you. It's a 30 corner plus 2.
Cheers, okay. It's controlled by the referee, guys. It'll buzz and flash over an 8-minute cycle to forewarn the players to prepare for the game, to be kitted up and booted ready for the game. You know, so it's a really vital, important sort of like that. It flashes because the players could be listening to music, so there's no reason they can't hear the buzz. They're going to see the flash of the actual light. And as you know, in any sport, including football, advertisement's massive in football. The most expensive advertisement is just before kick-off. If the players don't make that kick-off time, the clubs can be severely fined by the Premier League and the Champions League. So that little buzzer light feature is really important. But to back up as well, we also have what we call a countdown to kick-off. Now this is when we actually play. In fact, you've got the new one here for Brighton and Hove Albion next week. So you've got welcome to take a picture with a countdown to kick-off of the cycle of the events leading up to the kick-off time. So they have the buzzer, but they also have the countdown to kick-off, which will also be in the City dressing room. So it's for both teams as well, you know. So, but I think it's not a bad dressing room, but it's not too comfortable. You will see a 5,000% difference when you go in the home team dressing room. And most dressing rooms in the Premier League are half the size. I think it's in the physical setup. One of the days that a lot of stadiums playing out the older stadiums, but it's a 5-star UEFA team dressing room list. And you'll notice that a lot of facilities the owners have put in is to go 5-star UEFA to get prepared to do bigger events and bigger games in the future. We'll discuss that as we go along the rest of the tour. And as we leave this room, you're going to walk into what you call a medical area, where the actual away team use for their medical facilities. Now, under Premiership rules, we're only obliged to supply 1 bed. We supply 5 beds. So you see, our owners and the club are offering more facilities to our opponents when they arrive for the games. And you see the reason for that as we go through the rest of the tour. There's obviously an ice machine in there as well, and also a sick. The ice machine is to sort of prepare ice bags to treat bruises and cuts and injuries as well, you know. So I think it's a pretty good setup, but we don't make them too comfortable. And also the away team bring their own food and drink. We don't supply any of that. We do supply a chiller for the drinks, but they're in their own food and drink. And they may even decide to bring their own colours to decorate the room to make the players feel like they're in a home team dressing room, but that's their prerogative. Okay, guys, any questions? Are we good to go?
Yeah.
You can take a picture of the counters and kick up as you leave in. We're going to walk them into a warm-up area to show you a little bit there before we go on there to the city gym. Are you all having a good time?
Yeah.
Okay, so obligatorio Premier League
See you today. Just approach to the warm-up area now. Thank you. Cheers. Just run the corner slowly, please, guys. Not too far down to get everybody in, please. That's great. Thank you.
Esta sala tem que ser fria, não é?
Come in, guys, innit? Please come in. Here we go. Are you ready? Ready, lads? We're excited, innit? Ready, lift it up, get ready, lift it up. You ready? Okay, please come in. And also, guys, don't be mindful. You can take as many photos as you like. There's no restriction on photographs wherever you go. Please get your cameras out. Lots of photographs to take to the tour, okay? Now, you're probably in the least used gym in the whole of the Etihad campus. I mentioned about the expert training facility over at the CFA. They'll have gyms like this one across the road, even bigger gyms than this one. Because this is the least used one. On match days, it's only open 60 minutes before the game, and players will just spend about 20 minutes in here to do some light workout in here. The first player that arrives in a few people mentioned about Raheem Sterling and Kevin De Bruyne. If they're the first players to arrive in here, they get first choice of the music. So they get first choice to put the music that plays in here as well, you know. So it's just like a live workout. It'll be supervised by a coach in here to ensure that you're not doing something over strenuous. There's obviously weights in here. Obviously, probably a lot of these don't get used extensively when they're playing in that 20 minutes, but they have to be here just in case. Like I say, but it is light workout. They've got workout mats, they've got horse balance balls, they've got resistance bands on the bars there. It's purely 20 minutes light workout only. And you'll notice on the actual video you can see on the actual TVs, there's a bit of a fun game going in, what you call head tennis, with Ruben Diaz and Riyad Mahrez. Again, it's a little bit of hard workout. Bernardo Silva's referee proceedings, just to make sure that they don't break any rules. You'll notice here as well when he'll do a little bit of his VAR sort of expression in a minute when someone got it wrong. You might see him in a few minutes. He'll do VAR, handball, he'll say in a minute. So, you know, like I say, but he just supervises it Bernardo to make sure that they keep to what they should be doing, you know. So, there you go, see there? There we go, VAR, handball. No, generally, guys, when I do the tour yet, please ask us if you go along, alright? Most important, get your cameras ready because you know we're going to home team just do soon. Okay, so get those cameras ready. Okay, cheers, Christina. Okay, guys, you just come forward, please. Just come forward to the doors, please. Okay, then. And don't forget, guys, don't forget about the Easter egg hunt. The children, make sure you're keeping your counts together on your sheets. Okay, then. Please come forward at the back there, please. Please come forward at the back.
Go around and have a look and see if there's anywhere in that corner.
Okay, guys, just come forward at the back here, guys, so you can see the corridor, please. Just come forward. Now, there's two significant points I want to sort of show you before we go in. This is Pep's office. Now, Pep has an office in the CFA, but on match days he'll come into this one before kick-off. Again, I've never been inside Pep's office. I'm not allowed in there. You know, it's private to Pep. But I'm going to describe what's in there. It's quite modern furniture. Got a nice table and a chair. He's also got a shower in there. He's also got a wine cabinet. He likes to share a glass of wine with his opposition manager, win, lose or draw. Likes his wine, but you know, Pep. I'm sure he did that with Jurgen Klopp on Sunday. Let's go and have a chat about the game. We're going to meet again all this weekend. It's all Liverpool at the moment, all Liverpool. You know, so but win, loads of draw, he invites him in. But in his room, he's also got a picture on his wall in there of his mentor, the gentleman who mentored him while he was a player at Barcelona. Any idea who that might be? Is that sorry? Johan Cruyff, Johan Cruyff, the Dutch master, really created world football as we know it today, really. Total football with the Holland team of the 70s. If you've never watched Johan Cruyff play an old film, please watch him. He was just an amazing player. Sadly, he's passed away now, but just a great player. A few facts for you about Johan Cruyff. In his actual playing career, he won 3 European Cups with Ajax, the Dutch club Ajax. That's the club he started with from a young boy and went into play for Ajax. Also, he won 3 Ballon d'Or titles, the biggest ever title that any player can win in the world, the Ballon d'Or, 3 Ballon d'Ors. Now with Barcelona as a manager, he won 4 La Liga titles, one after the other. As you know, that's their equivalent of the Premier League title in Spain. And he also won Barcelona their very first ever European Cup in history. So I think Pep had a really good mentor. But what Johan Cruyff seen in Pep, not only to be a great player, which he was, but he also seen the leadership capabilities to become a leader when he finished his career, and that's what turned him into be a great manager. And I think the actual stance of the game that Pep plays, he's learned that what he's learned off Johan Cruyff and adapt that for his own total football game with the clubs that he did before he even arrived at City. But I think what Pep has brought to City, he's brought just an amazing structure of a team into a winning team, to play with a great passing ability, score lots of goals, and can also win lots of trophies. So I think it's a great testament to what he learned off Johan. He's brought it into his own game as well, just an amazing. Now then, Pep's got his own picture as well to actually... Pardon?
They're going to walk past in a second to finish.
Thank you, Christine. We're any minute, guys. But just before these people walk through as well from the tour, this particular campus wall here, Pep has influenced his players to say, I want you to bring pictures of people that inspire you within your game, within your life. Again, we don't see that. It's private to the players. It's only lifted on match days. But it could be up their wives or their girlfriends on, it could be their mothers or their fathers or their coaches or their mentors or their children. And he's saying to you, you're not just playing for yourself, you're playing for the people that have inspired you to get into the game. And I think it's a great psychology. You're not talking about the actual, it's not only physical psychology, it's mental psychology. So before they walk down that tunnel to meet their opponents, they're already equipped to become winners before they even kick the ball into the centre circle to kick the game. That's what it's all about, and it's shown. City, we've gone through now the Champions League semi-final. We've got a semi-final tomorrow against Liverpool. We're still 1 point in front in the Premier League. We've got everything to play for, and it's showing that he's keeping the mental psychology. It's really critical. Pep will know throughout the season, but especially now at these really critical periods, you've got to keep the mental psychology right, as well as the physical psychology right, to ensure they're prepared to go and hopefully go and win these trophies and win these honours. That's what it's all about. So he knows it's a key part of the season now, and hopefully it will all come our way. We'll see. We'll see. So we're just waiting now, guys, for the people to come out. So be okay, Dave?
Let's Dave just follow.
Okay, guys. Any other questions at all? Follow me in, please. Okay, guys, please come in. Turn to the right, please. Come in, turn to the right. That's great, thank you. Here we go. And turn to the right, please. Don't forget the East End Hunters, what the cement in here as well. Turn to the right, please. We all have a good time. So then, what's your first impression? What do you think about the old team dressing room? What do you think? Is it not amazing? The hairs on the back of my neck always stood up when they come in. Just an amazing sort of setup when you're coming in. Now, well, the big question I want to ask is, why do you think it's circular?
Togetherness, is it?
Well done, man. Togetherness, ultimate communication, 100% communication. Wherever you're sitting here, you can be seen. Even on locker doors, be seen into the walls, and the players are changing it to each other. They can see each other all the time. And it's also, believe it or not, the same size as the away team dressing room, just been designed in a circular way. It's basically NFL designs in the NFL League in the USA. That's how the ground designs come from. And Pep had a first input the way the actual dressing room is designed. And Pep also decides where all the players sitting here. They don't make their decisions. You notice all these great international stars are kept separate, not next to each other. It's all about building the family oriented side of the actual club body and the players and the group of players in the actual dressing room. And Pep will only speak one language in here. He'll only speak English in here. Now Pep can speak 5 languages, but he'll only speak English to keep it consistent. And obviously when these great international stars turn to play the City, but they're given an English teacher to support their English speaking language while they're here. And like I said, it's just amazing what he's done really to build that family oriented side of the actual of the dressing room while he's in charge. And obviously on match days, the actual kit men will pick the music for the players. But when Pep wants to speak, you notice a bit of an echo here, he'll go off and he commands all their attention. But as I mentioned about technology, the players will turn up with iPads and computers on their own and the laptops to discuss about tactics they've discussed during the week before the game, who they're going to be man marking. So there's a lot of technology involved, along with the match analysts who support Pep in his back team to say this is how we're going to look to go and win the game, or even tweet things during the game, because they'll have a helicopter view at the scene that you'll see later where they'll watch the game and report back to Pep anything they need to change to say for the second half. So there's a lot of technology involved with the game overall. Now let's go to match days. On match days, the players will arrive to a kit bundle with their IBM match days. They'll get 2 shirts, they get socks and shorts, they'll also have a towel and a pair of sliders for the shower, they'll have body armour and skins for training, and then also their boots and their shin pads. Now in terms of the shirts, the players can do whatever they like with the shirts in the game. They can pass them on to a supporter, they can also exchange with an opposition player, and they can also keep the shirts themselves, or they can sign them and pass them on for good causes for charity to be auctioned. In a season, the first team go through 2,000 to 3,000 first team shirts a season. Gone are the days of the old days when a player in the old days had 1 shirt for the season and it had to be repaired. They have now a shirt, they have 2,000 to 3,000 shirts a season. In terms of the socks and shorts though, they're always re-washed and laundered and given back to the players until they wear out. There's only 2 parts of the kit that players can personalise. One is their boot sponge, you know these lovely pink, yellow and green boots that they wear? And the other one is their shin pads, because the shin pads cannot be seen, they're actually underneath the actual sock. So they can do what they want with the shin pads. Now I'm going to give you 3 particular great examples. There's lots of great examples, but 3 in particular. Bernardo Silva, very close to his home country of Portugal, very patriotic player. He's got the Portuguese flag on his shin pads. Gabriel Jesus, now for the children, what does Gabriel do when he scores a goal on the pitch? What can anyone that he actually makes when he scores? Anyone know? He does this, doesn't he? He's making a phone call. He's very close to his mother and his sister, who were an inspiration for getting into the actual game in Brazil when he first came over to John City, and also said, we want you to come to the Northern England John City to become a great centre forward. Now he doesn't forget that contact relationship with his mother and his sister. He's got a picture of his mother and his sister in his shin pads. And when they come to watching it for the game, and they did recently for the Champions League game when he scored, he did this on the pitch. I had to say, mum and sister have scored a goal, they're in an exec box watching him. So that's the difference. When they're not here, he's ringing. When they're here, it's a heart. But he's very close to his mother and sister. They were very instrumental to get him into the professional game. You know, so that's Gabriel Jesus. But for me, the most sort of really, should I say, very intriguing sort of example of shin pads has got to be Kyle Walker, our international. I'm going to say Kyle Walker just turned 31 years of age. He's still wearing the same shin pads he's had since he's been 14 years of age. He's schoolboy shin pads. He used it when he was a trainee at Sheffield United, and they've gone through all his professional career, and they will continue that until the end of his career. They're getting quite grey and tatty now. They've got Kane walking, schoolboy right on the back, but it's his lucky charm. A lot of players have a lucky charm, like Bernardo has with his shin pads, with his mother, with his Portuguese flag. Gabriel Jesus. It's all about having lucky charms and superstitions to ensure that they bring the team up. Kyle Walker, his shin pads is quite intriguing, 14 years of age. I was watching when he played for England in the European Championships, and he had those schoolboy shin pads underneath his England socks. So he uses them when he plays for England as well, England City. You know, it's just quite intriguing there, really. You know, so just amazing sort of system overall, all round about the actual shin pads. A few other things about the hotel dressing room for you. But we mentioned also that the away team have got showers. Well, we've got showers, but guess what? Our players have got 2 plunge pools. They've got a pool at 40 degrees centigrade, and that's a cool pool. Now we ask the players to use that for at least 5 minutes. It's not mandatory, but for 2 really important reasons. One to reduce the lactic acid they've got in the joint, generating 90 minutes. So that brings it together for the joint muscles. And secondly, to aid in cuts and bruises. Let's not forget, last season, the City players were going to play an average 3 games a week in the COVID season, so the quicker they heal, the better. So that cool pool is really advantageous to use. But after the 5 minutes in the cool pool, guess where they can go? In a nice 26 degrees jacuzzi next door. So life's the beach, but these players are superstars. And you have to treat superstars well to ensure that they perform well. And let's look at a couple of great examples of City players that have played here, had great careers and won great honours. Vincent Kompany, our inspirational captain, 10 years plus. David Silva, who sat here, sir, in your seat, our inspirational midfield player, 10 years plus, who mentored who actually mentored Phil Foden while he was here. And let's not forget fantastic centre forward Sergio Aguero, 10 years plus. They've had a great career, be part of a great family orientated team. It's a family side of the actual dressing room. They've been part of a great dressing room and part of a great club with the honours. And as you know, Vincent now and Davy have been honoured with statues here as well, and also there's one due for Sergio Aguero to show the magnificent contribution those players have given. And a lot of that may continue with these couple of players that we've got here as well. Now I mentioned to you about the Tony Rose poem. Has anyone seen the line here? Has anyone seen the line in the poem? Well done, that's not bad. Some are born here, Phil Foden just on the road. Just turned 21 Stockport that. Again, mentored by the great Dennis Silver. Some are drawn here, these fantastic social sides that are drawn to play for City. What Pep saying to you while you're here, you all call it all. You're playing for the club, you're playing for City, you're playing for the blue shirt, and you are a Mancunian, you're a Mancunian while you're here. And there's a great psychology, and I said to you about all the mental psychology before the physical side. It's all about getting the players prepared to be winners. And he even shows the Manchester worker bee here as well. You need to see the corner well, the worker bee. So it's even here as well as the actual warm-up area. You have the worker bee here to sort of inspire the players even more. Just a great experience overall. I rest my case. What a dressing room. Do you like everybody, guys?
Yeah.
Any questions?
Yes.
Fire away a question.
Where's Lavia?
Pardon?
Where's Lavia?
Where's the person?
Where's the name?
Who is he?
Oh, that's lovely. He's one of our sort of fringe players in the squad. And you think, what's the name on somebody called a full squad player? Like you say, for instance, when you've got like Cole Palmer there, who's a Winshaw lad. He's a local lad in the academy, like Phil Foden. He's not become a full squad player at the moment. So that will change as years go by. So that's the reason why we don't have the name. But they are becoming part of the squad, but not a name but they can't change it when they play.
What does being a mentor mean? What would David Silver have done for Phil Foden?
Well, David Silver, you can imagine the strengths of Phil Foden, even though he had his own design skill that he's built up. Don't forget, he started playing for City when he was 6 years of age. He's 6 years of age, a junior, he started in the academy. So he's one of the biggest. We have Sean Lightfoot, one of the very first academy players that come out of the academy in the 90s. But from this new dynasty, it's obviously Phil Foden has been one of the key players that have come out of the academy. So obviously, David would have mentioned skill and technique, and that's, I think, the traits that Phil shows on the pitch is what he's learned off David Silver. So obviously, he put him under his wing and brought him on to become, obviously, the Premier League winner. You know, so that's where the mention comes. So younger players, I give a mentor within the team, support them with their more technique and their skill and their physicality for the game. Any other questions? Are we okay, guys? Right then, guys, now we're going to show you a film now of Pep.
Going to be judged, it depends on how many titles we done. Who will be a favourite. Next season will be more my team, I'm pretty sure of that.
There are new faces in the squad, but the objective remains the same: success in all competitions. Oh my God! Sit down! Manchester City win the Carabao Cup. First trophy for Pep Guardiola in charge of the Blues. 100 records broken and broken again.
That will come to before, then that by City dress. Just to remind them, you were right at the Premier League champions. Here we go. And they also got this cramped area to walk down the staircase, not for the City players. City players got all this space here, so it's all the pre-match psychology again, even before they kick a ball, get these players unprepared and the City players prepared. Now this glass you're going to walk down, the glass tunnel, this is what I like to call the magic glass. Now the fans in here, these are the Tunnel Club Premier guests, they get like a 5-star dining experience. They can take pictures of the players, but the players can't see the guests. So it's bright up in here and dimmed in an area, and it's a great experience. They can take pictures at the start of the game, also at half time and full time. And besides other things they also get the dome of the dressing room built into their experience above a bar. They've also got a tunnel that can go and watch the players walk before the start of the game. They've got ex-legends circulating around the area as well as upstairs as well. And they can talk to match analysts as well, so they get a lot of extras around the Tunnel Club Premier, but it's just an amazing experience. But they've got the opportunity to take these pictures. And social media is a big place today. Look who I've just seen, Kevin De Bruyne walking down the tunnel, click, it's on social media. Look where I am today, I'm in the Tunnel Club Premier, watching the City players come down the tunnel, just amazing. Okay then, now I'm going to build up the atmosphere. Are you ready for a bit of atmosphere? Yeah. Let's get some atmosphere building. Let's just get it moving. Oh, look at this, 50,000 fans. Now then, I'm looking for a couple of City captains. Have I got a few City captains here? Do you want to be City? You stand on top step for me there, stand there. Another City captain, you stand there for me. Another one. Okay then, any more City captains? Another one? You coming over? Have we got 4? Any more City captains? Are we okay? Now then, can I ask the parents of these city captains to go down 2 flights of stairs? We get your camera down there, please. Here we go. You okay, sir? Yeah. Take a picture there, then. Okay, then we'll get our photographers in place first. The Summer Cup Premier guests are watching you come down, get in. Come on, let's keep going there. Let's get to the Etihad. There we go. It's like Tenerife. It's beautiful. It's like Tenerife, isn't it? Look at back in 2002. Looked very different in those days, though, when the games were on. For one, the North Stand had no roof on at all. The Etihad Stadium stand you can see there, that's where the running track used to be, and it only held 38,000 fans. Now, City and the architects wanted a year to convert the stadium to become a football stadium. To do that, we put a roof on the North Stand, and we dug out 69 metres down, they took the running track out to put an extra 10,000 seats to make it 48,000. Now, several years ago, we extended the South Stand to become a third-tier stand to make it 55,000. Now, more recently, it's dropped to 54 for two reasons. One, we've introduced 5,600 new rail seats over there. You know, we're part of the safe standing trial in the Premiership. Hopefully that will be extended to further clubs if the trial's a success. And where you can see these LED signage all the way around the stadium, we took about 2 or 3 rows out the actual seat stand, so it's about 54,000. But guess what? Our owners want to go even bigger. And I've shown you about all the infrastructure down below being UEFA standing. Our actual owners want to go even bigger. They've got planning permission to extend the North Stand to make the stadium go over 60,000. Now when we go over 60,000, we can host Champions League finals, we can also host World Cup games, and who knows, we could be hosting international games here as well in the future as well. So it's a two-pronged sort of attack in terms of the owners want to get even better facilities. So that's when we go over 60. Now we don't know what's going to happen yet. We haven't got planning permission, but we've lost a year in the COVID season, so maybe in a couple of years we'll be looking maybe to extend the North Stand to make it third tier. So we have got big plans, but we've got all that structure down below to match what we're going to do upstairs on the top of the actual pitch as well. A few of the facts for you as well about the stadium. We've got the largest director's box in the Premier League. You'll notice there where you see the D stand, that's where the Queen sat when she formally opened the games in 2002, and it's that big because all the Commonwealth dignitaries sat up there supported with the games as well. These seats here, you can see, I mentioned about the Tullochgold grounds here, and also the Tullochgold Premier, which is down below the 5-star dining experience. The Tullochgold Premier guests have heated seats in winter, don't need heated seats today, and USB points, but the Tullochgold ground guests aren't heated. But again, that mirrors what you see upstairs. And you're probably in the best VIP setup here. These are best VIP seats in the actual stadium. We've got 66 executive boxes in the stadium. Now, people ask the guys a lot, do the players get the boxes for free? No, they don't. They pay for their own boxes while they're here, so they get boxes. So there's 66 boxes. One of the key boxes to show you where you can see the City back a lower sign. That's where Pep's sitting his family. So when he's waving over there from his seat, he's waving to his family. That's what it's all about there, you know. So we've got 66 boxes. Also, let's not forget the away fans. When Liverpool come in recently on Sunday, where you can see the Puma sign there, the Puma sign. That's where the away fans sit, top, middle and bottom. 3,000 of them for Premier League games. But very strategically, we house our loudest singing fans next to the away fans. I like to call it the Manchester City choir. We out-sing the hour to help Pep win the game. So it's all about Pep psychology with the game. What about a bit of fan psychology? Well, overall, all round, that's what it's all about, you know. So, a few of the facts about the stadium as well. Where you see the Man City True Face sign, where you see that grey box, that's where all your matchday pundits sit. You like your Gary Linekers and your Gary Lovers This World for Match of the Day, BT Sport and Sky TV. And to your left hand side, that light blue box there, that's what you call a sensory box. For people that live with autism, it needs a quieter environment towards the game, and it's split into zones. There's only 2 other clubs in the Premier League that have got an autism box, that's Watford and also Tottenham Hotspur. So we're following the field to ensure that our fans can watch it in the environment they feel comfortable in. And we also have 199 wheelchair access seats in here as well to support people that need to come in with a wheelchair as well. Mention about the actual analyst, the actual matchday analyst here, you have a helicopter view to watch the game, supporting Pep throughout the game. And they'll also watch out for medical issues. If there's a clash of heads, they'll radio down saying you need to get a doctor quickly. So there's a clash of heads as well. Also here, left and right, where you've got press roll there. That's what's done in the days, just using notepads. It's all done on iPads now and phones. and they can look at replays before they write the reports to the papers. They treat the press really well. They get refreshments. They've got their own room, and they've even got their own secret staircase to walk to their seats. How about that then? So we do treat the press really well here, you know. So, and let's not forget the Sergio moment. How can I forget the Sergio Aguero moment? That iconic moment back in 2012. 10 years it is this year, Centini, since he scored that winning goal to beat United for the title. What a way to win the title, and what a club to win the title off. That's what it's all about. The Martin Tyler interview took place, and then that Aguero moment, and he scored that goal in 2012 against QPR. I was there that day, and amazing. You think of all the actual hurt we had over the years, to be able to go and win the title for the first time in over 40 years, it's just an amazing experience overall. Amazing experience. Now then, a little bit about the pitch for you. The pitch is what you call a Cisco system. It's 95% grass, it's 5% nylon. That's 27,000 miles of nylon that runs through the pitch. He will never scuff this pitch. When a player slide tackles, he just gets a grass mark in his shorts. It's like playing on carpet. And it has a built-in self-irrigation system below as well to ensure the pitch always self-irrigates. Now they call Manchester sometimes Rainchester. Look at this. Beautiful today. All the water we stored in storage tanks and leave it in the service tunnel, so we actually continue to irrigate the pitch all year round. I like to call the pitch the Garden of Glory. When our great players win these great games and win these great trophies, just an amazing experience to be on here as well. And even the actual pitch is raised 11 inches high in the centre circle to actually help even more drainage. And obviously we've got undersoil heating, of course. This pitch here obviously is AstroTurf, the technical areas. That's where the pitch starts from the line. It's been the first time it's been changed in 10 years. But now we've got the Cisco system in, we've only got to change the pitch once a year because the system's underneath as well now. And just to finish on the stadium, whether you sit in the north stand, the south stand, the east stand, or this west stand, you had 100 metres for the centre circle under such a view. I call that a wonderful experience. Whenever you're sitting here, you've got nothing in your view, no pillars here. You are in a 21st century stadium. I love my old stadium at Main Road, but I wanted new memories and new games and new glory, and we've got it here in the 21st century stadium. It's just an amazing place to be. I rest my case. Do you like the stadium? Yes. Brilliant. Okay then. Have you got all your photos?
So sit towards the back and get better view of the screens.
Would you like to be a 3 metres in, we'll have TV, radio and press in here. We'd have on normal Premiership games looking at 20 to 30 journalists, get into title decided against United, or like we could have a title decided coming this year, this season. Hopefully that's going to happen. 60 to 70 journalists, get into Premier League, into sort of Champions League games. You look at 100 plus journalists standing room only in here, so it's a big effect in here as well. And also the two managers will have two press officers. Obviously the opposition manager will come in first to do his questions, and obviously then Pep will come in afterwards. And the order of call will be TV, radio and press in terms of questions, you know. So and also this room that you're sitting in is where the Queen sat when she went to formally open the Commonwealth Games. So you're sitting here where royalty sat in here. She started here, the Queen, before she went to say I declare the games open. How about that then? Okay guys, now we're hoping that's going to be a guest going to turn up from the CFA to see you today. For the parents and the children on the stage, get your camera down on the stage as well to watch out for this one. Keep watching the cameras guys and we'll see what happens.
Film one of the screens if you've got the child with you, so film one of the screens.
So yeah, hopefully this guest is going to come and see us. Let's see what's going to happen here. No, then what's happening? This way, please, guys. Just come this way, please. We actually leave the stadium on match days. 15,000 pints of beer drunk on match days. 4,000 pies, they're lovely pies. 3,000 staff. You know, so it's a big concern. And on match days, the grass that I mentioned to you downstairs is also cut 4 times before the game because Pep likes to have it 22 millimetres in length for the class point of football. For the UEFA standard, it's between 20 and 30, but he likes it at 22 to ensure that the ball runs really smoothly. So all that pre-preparation before the game is all that helping, Pep to win the game. Okay, so we're all good to go. Have you had a good tour?
Yeah.
I'm going to take you back to the shot now to show you a film of the history of City. Are you looking forward to that?
Yeah.
Follow me, please. Thank you.